what we post or what we share, Raj, can leave a lasting impression, isn't it, brother?
Yes, of course. Hello, sir.
And
Good morning.
good morning. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. Thank you for asking. And how are you?
As always, brother, taking along. And how was the festive season for you?
Uh, it was nice, though.
So, Raj, for our today's discussion, I'll give you a bit of context from my side, and then possibly we can have a conversation on that.
Yeah. And
Imagine, yeah.
if I try to recall you something, we were discussing something in the last session, and you had said that from next time onward, you would give me some hint on picture description.
Okay. Yes, I mean, yes. So I had told you that. So which one would you like to do? Would you like to talk about what I was supposed to say, or you would like to know about it?
Let's go with whatever you have come up for me.
Okay. Nothing, brother. I thought of.
I mean, we can do that on a regular basis because I have taken another subscription for a longer period of time now.
Okay.
So I'm here for a long period. So I would get all these details from your side, whether it is picture description or a
Yeah,
storytelling or whatever it is.
absolutely. Fingers crossed. Absolutely. So I was wanting you to say that let's imagine, okay.
Okay.
Imagine you are walking on a sandy beach,
Okay.
leaving behind footprints with every step you take. So
Okay.
similarly, brother, in the digital world, whenever you use the internet or you do something in terms of any activity that you do online, you leave behind a trail of information about yourself.
All right.
And this trail is called digital print.
Okay.
Or should I say this trail is called digital footprint rather.
Okay.
So your digital footprint could be made up of things like the website you visit, the things you post, you share on social media, the online games you play, if you at all get yourself engaged, the messages, emails you send. It's like a repository or a record of all the online activities that you do. So every time you are engaged in an online activity, you leave a trail behind.
All right.
So I wanted to give you this context because that I would love to ask you a few questions on this. Now that you understand what a digital footprint is all about,
Yes.
do you think it is important to be aware about our digital footprints? Do you think it is important to be aware about our digital footprints? Yes, no, and then why? Substantiate your answer, because I want to give you more space for speaking. Yeah.
Yeah, of course. So if I talk about the recent past, no matter what we are doing, if we have if we have something as a record to review, it is going to be beneficial for us. So in that term, I think if I have a knowledge about my digital footprint, that whatever I was doing and whatever I have done till now, so that I could give a look to it and decide my future action on that basis. So for that purpose, it would be good for having a footprint, that where what kind of website I visited, how much time I gave there, and for what purpose I spent my time there. What is the use of that? Has it been just for the sake of entertainment, or is it for some growth purpose as well, like self-improvement and all? So if I have to take a look and I mean, if I have the opportunity to get a look of all those things and decide my plan accordingly, so it would be better for me.
Brother, do you think that our digital footprints can shape how others perceive us? I
Of
mean,
course,
yeah,
but this question is itself not a good question. If I think more about this, we say a lot that you do not have to think about what others think or what others say to you or think about you in general. But in some cases, of course, it is essential. For example, if you are going to interview and there they want to have a look of your digital footprint, generally in some interviews, they have a go on your details, that whatever you share. So in terms of that, if there is a rule that in that details, they will have a look on your digital footprint as well. So in those moments, it can be beneficial as well.
What we post or what we share, Raj, can leave a lasting impression, isn't it, brother?
Yes, of course.
And in that way, do you think that that can influence the opinions of the people? Because
Yeah, of course. And that is why I came up with that question of interviewee and interviewer. And if the interviewer wants to have a look of your digital print, so they would like to see that how much time you spend on Twitter or on Facebook and what kind of post you post there. So is it anything relevant with the situation, or it is just like um, I mean a wastage of time that you do for any purpose. So that will give an impression of you to think that okay, this man is uh, this kind of personality this man has. So
right,
it is beneficial for my company and all. So they can look all these things, and in that way it can be beneficial for both, for interviewer and for interview as well.
you also think that our digital footprints can provide ample amount of information to the cyber criminals? Because when we do a lot of online transactions, which we get to see these days, we leave a lot of trails behind. And the way technology is taking a leap, uh, our digital footprints can also provide valuable information to them, in that sense that they can gain, or they can have rather access to a lot of details about an individual to trespass those securities. We are seeing day in, day out, right? I mean, despite all those firewalls and all, they are still getting in. I mean, so, so what is your opinion? Should we stop digitally transacting online, or what is it? Or we need to step up the security level? What is it? They need to be beefed up? I mean, what's your thought on that?
uh, if I try to explain it in different way, the
Yeah.
first thing that I would like to say that we know that a coin has two sides, and it depends on us how we use that. So
Hmm.
no matter which thing we are talking about, it has its pros and cons. It depends upon the usage. And in terms of digital footprint, if we are doing, if we are concerned about whether we should use or not, so in that case, if we are using it for our betterment, for the good purposes, for bona fide purposes, then we should not be worried about whether anyone can have a look on it or not, because that would be irrelevant to us. Whatever you want to look, whatever I have done is bona fide, and I have done it for my well-being and for other well-being as well. So in that sense, we should not be worried about using or leaving a footprint. But in the other sense, it is definitely going to be beneficial, and to some extent, it is being used by some police officers, or especially the cybercrime police officer, and they get a note of that, and they reached up to the culprits that okay, this is the person who had the access to this laptop or this site, and from where he has posted all these things, which is not good for some X and Y and Z person. So in that way,
It helps them. It becomes an
it
aid in
helps
the process
them.
of investigation, right?
Yes. And sometimes it can also help to find to relieve the, I mean, the accused who is not culprit. Sometimes, like I have had a personal experience of this, that a person in my network was caught on the basis of a complaint by someone, and later they came to know that it was not him who had used his ID, but his ID has been hacked and then used for wrong purposes. So
Mm.
in that way, he got saved, but it took lots of time, and that is another question in itself. That why do the trial takes months and months in India? So there are so many pending cases and such so many trials where the accused who is not culprit has to suffer. So that is altogether a different topic. Let me come back to this topic, and for that purpose, if I talk about the uses of the digital footprint, then it is definitely benefiting in cybercrime itself.
I'm sending you a sentence on the chat window.
Yeah.
I want you to read it loud, and then I'm going to ask you the question.
When managing your digital footprint, it's important to, I lost it.
You know how to see the message, right?
Okay.
There is a chat. You just give a small tap on your screen. There should be a chat option.
Yeah. So when managing your digital footprint, it's important to untag yourself from posts or photos that you don't want to be associated with.
So what does untag here mean? What does it mean to untag? Could you explain and describe, please? And why does it necessarily mention about this untag? What it has to do?
I mean, it has some something related with the rules that the officers follow, generally the crime officers. So if they are concerned with that kind of rule, then we will have to untag ourselves. Otherwise, I think that if digital footprint is good enough to you to support your investigation, then there should be no such rule, because you will eventually come to know that who is the main culprit. Because anyone can tag you, whether maybe you are not aware with that tagging at that point of time, because you were not active on particular app, and then in investigation your name comes that okay, why were you tagged there, and why did not untag yourself from that post or something.
Hmm.
So untagging is something like you have to just cut it out from that post. You have to send a message that I am not concerned with this. Whatever has been posted or whatever has been written, I have nothing to do with this.
Yeah, you're kind of dissociating yourself. That's what.
Yeah.
So when
So
you are taking
in
yourself,
that terms, if you miss to disassociate yourself, then it should not be a big deal, and the officers or investigators should take care of these things. That's what I feel.
not only from the security point of view, I mean, sometimes there could be, because as you leave digital trails behind, I, I have a feeling, strong feeling, which I have experienced, and that was something which I very strongly noticed, Raj, when I used to be on the socials. So that's when I decided, no, I mean, I should kind of reduce my digital footprint, right? That was one.
Correct.
Yes. So do you think that's the only way to take a break from the internet or the socials? Is the only way to reduce your digital footprint, or to become more conscious about what you're posting, what you're sharing is of paramount importance? What is, I think, how you have a minute before it gets disconnected, you can answer.
Okay. So like I said earlier, it all depends on the usage. So if we are not ready to leave footprint, because no matter what we are doing, we are going to leave a footprint. So it's better that we avoid. If it is hurting us in some or way or other, then it's better to avoid doing such things.
Right. But in a way, are we missing out on a whole lot of information then, which could be of a lot of use to us?
I don't think that, like if you go on something and you search something, then that kind of footprint is not going to leave any impact on you.
Mm,
Only if you post, then it comes in picture. So
mhm.
if you do not want to miss out, you can go and check without posting or without doing any other things.